Did you know there was a group of super soldiers that actually came before the Space Marines? And their story is actually super sad. They were known as the Thunder Warriors, and they were actually bigger and stronger than the Astartes. They were also genetically and mentally unstable. And just like their Space Marine cousins, the Emperor had created 20 different legions of them, each led by a super powerful individual that was basically a proto-Primarch. These dudes were an unstoppable fighting force, and despite the fact that they were physically stronger than a Space Marine, they unfortunately didn't live nearly as long. Whereas a Space Marine can live for thousands of years, the augmentations these dudes received started creating serious issues within a few decades. And Space Marines are recruited when they're children. Their bodies are technically still developing, and are thus way less likely to have complications from the implants. The Thunder Warriors, however, were full-grown adults when they were created, and thus the rate of new organ rejection was incredibly high. Despite that, the Thunder Warriors were an absolutely brutal fighting force. And here's the main thing you have to understand about them. The Emperor of Mankind created them for a very specific purpose. You see, for thousands of years, the humans that lived on Terra were united. However, this would all change during a dark period known as the Age of Strife. This was the period that happened right before the birth of Slaanesh. There were these massive anomalies known as warp storms, which basically cut Terra off from all the other planets mankind had colonized. There was constant infighting on Terra, and the people there split into a whole bunch of different factions, each fighting for control of the planet. Over thousands of years, these factions would eventually turn into techno-barbarian hordes, led by some truly ruthless warlords. The planet was basically at constant war, and the amount of knowledge and technology that was lost was truly incalculable. It was during this period of incredibly bloody warfare that the Emperor finally made his presence known and revealed himself to humanity. The Emperor then created the Custodian Guard, his legions of Thunder Warriors, to bring death to the techno-barbarians, and reunite mankind under his banner. The Emperor would inevitably prove successful in his mission, but there was a problem. There was now no war for the Thunder Warriors to fight. That was literally their only purpose. Whereas the Space Marines basically represented the best of humanity, being not just incredibly disciplined warriors, but also well-trained scholars, philosophers, engineers, and even artists and poets. The Thunder Warriors existed only to fight. They represented the truly worst elements of humanity, but basically cranked up to 11. The story the public is told is that they were killed to a man in the last battle of the Unification Wars. They fought heroically and valiantly, and gave their lives for mankind. And that's a lie, as the Emperor had ordered the Custodians to hunt down every last one of them, and to make sure there were no survivors. No one knows for sure why he did this. It's possible that with no war to fight, the Emperor had lost control of them, and they were starting to rebel. Or it's possible he felt they had just outlived their usefulness, and there was no place for them in his new society. This was thousands of years ago, and the Thunder Warriors are no more. This is also a lie. As of all people, somehow Trazen the Infinite Collector actually has one in his collection, locked away in stasis for all time.